What up, YouTube? Been a minute since I've posted to this channel. And, yeah, I got some shit to get off my chest. And YouTube is the absolute chef's kiss goat when it comes to allowing people to post long-form content and not limit themselves like other platforms like to do. So let's get at it. So, the topic of my current rant is on the body positivity movement. So, overall, I support the body positivity movement. Absolutely. I think it is good for people to have a healthy and loving relationship with themselves and not to be burdened by shame and guilt and to absolutely despise your reflection in the mirror. Like, I am very, very happy that society is progressing past that. And I sincerely applaud the women responsible for this movement. Because I can tell you, it hasn't been the dudes. But here's where I diverge. So people talk about intersectionality. Cool. I'm with intersectionality. Let's go. Let's combine. Let's link up. Let's link and build, right? Like Eddie Griffin said, let's come together like butt cheeks and be the shit. But what's interesting in the intersectionality movement and discussions and such, and then the body positivity discussions and such, I find it very interesting that cisgendered straight males and cisgendered white straight males are excluded from that conversation and are excluded from the inclusion. I find it interesting. I find it deeply, deeply interesting. And by simply saying that, I can already foresee the counter arguments to that and the commentary to that, saying that straight white males have had their time and they just need to sit down and shut up, and things in that general kind of ballpark. And I find those things really interesting. It's like, prime example. Predominantly on TikTok, I'll see various women make statements of disgust about how they are attracted to men and wish they weren't attracted to men. And if sexuality was a choice, why would they choose to be straight? Huh. Interesting. If you were to take that sentiment and apply it to literally any other group, there would understandably and rightfully so be immense amount of pushback. Yet when it comes to saying that it's a disgusting and loathsome thing to be attracted to a man, like, what? That is a very interesting take. That is a very interesting take indeed. And what's deeply fascinating to me is with the non-binary people. Totally cool. Not a problem. People should absolutely be free to dress however they see fit, that makes them comfortable, that makes them feel confident, and makes them feel beautiful and things of that nature. Now, granted, I don't think that then means that you need to over-sexualize yourself in public settings and things of that nature, and go into an area that has, mixed groups of folks about, and run around and cut off jeans with your butt cheeks hanging out, and shirts that have just barely your nipple covered, and run around damn near naked. I don't think that's cool. Because honestly, let's really look at this. If we're going to look at this, then let's look at this. Because there are those that, as I state that argument, would give me significant pushback and say that I'm being misogynistic, and I'm objectifying women, and I'm sexualizing women, and all sorts of different arguments in that general kind of ballpark, right? Okay. To that, if I, as a 6 foot tall, over 300 pound dude, 37 years old, if I were to go to a shopping mall, right? If I were to go down to your local mall or grocery store, and I was wearing nothing but a pair of flip-flops and a Speedo, and to make things fair, a crop top that covered my man boobs. Those that are of the body positivity movement, and those that are about intersectionality, I strongly doubt. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying they wouldn't. But I personally have a very, very high level of doubt that there would be people coming to my defense, defending my right to dress like that if I wanted to. Granted, I personally don't want to dress like that in public. Even if I go to a pool, I really don't feel comfortable or am remotely interested in wearing a Speedo. I like regular swim trunks. Now, as far as not having a shirt on, I got a little bit of acne scarring and keloids on my chest and shoulders and back and stuff, so depending on how I'm feeling, I might wear a shirt over myself. Might not, we'll see. Just kind of depends on where my confidence level is at that day. But back on topic here. Non-binary people can dress in any combination or variation or blend of male or female aesthetics, masc or femme. Totally cool, no problem. And women in the lesbian community, oftentimes the more masculine presenting lesbians have a tendency, from my third party observation, masculine lesbians tend to do quite well with finding a romantic partner. Nothing wrong with that. That's totally cool. Love is love, as long as people are happy and it's a consensual, loving, and supportive relationship between two consenting adult humans. Then fucking A. So it's interesting to me that then there's this overall negative energy, shall we say, being given towards people who are in a loving and supportive and consensual relationship, and they just so happen to follow the basic gender norms and things of that nature. That's very interesting to me. Very interesting indeed. Because how disingenuous is it that the same things that you want people to give you and treat you, the same energy that you want yourself, right? Why are you then not giving that same energy back out? Like, I get that society needs a change, but what's interesting to me is the similar type of energy and rhetoric around people who are homophobic and transphobic and very much against the LGBTQI plus community. Those that are in the LGBTQIA plus community then use the exact same rhetoric against people who aren't in their community and their tribal group. I consider myself an ally in the overall cause of true equity and equality and inclusion, actual social justice, actually having things in society be in a way that is logical and true and just. I am very much for those things. So it just strikes me as interesting that those that claim they are about social justice and fight these much needed fights and activism and things of that nature, then use the very same tactics of those that have been oppressive. It's like we don't get to equality and equity in our society and stuff by becoming the new oppressors. You don't oppress the oppressors and then think that you then have some sort of moral high ground. It doesn't work that way. So, yeah, that pretty well covers my thoughts on the matter. If you stayed long enough to watch this video, holy shit, seek help. Unless you found my rant especially interesting, I honestly am concerned for you. Because that was super long and super ranty and kind of rambly. And, yeah. But hey, man. Love, peace, chicken grease. Y'all stay easy out there.